The Australian government said it cancelled his visa because Djokovic's presence could lead to an increase in anti-vaccination sentiment and even civil unrest. Australia requires everyone entering the country to be vaccinated or have a medical exemption. Djokovic had an exemption because of a recent COVID infection, but it sparked outrage in Australia, apparently prompting the government to act. An opinion poll yesterday showed 71% of Australians wanted Djokovic deported.
Damn. It says a lot about you when that many Australians think you're too dangerous to be in their country. I mean, this is the country whose health minister is a giant poisonous spider. Oh, I get things done. And Australia is the last country you want to get deported from. I mean, imagine stepping off a 25-hour flight and then immediately having to get on another 25-hour flight. Like, I don't know what Djokovic thinks is in the vaccine, but it can't possibly be worse than breathing in farts for 50 hours straight. But then again, it's not that surprising that Djokovic would be against the vaccine. Keep in mind that this is a man who says he knows that he has a gluten intolerance, and this is completely true, because he's physically weaker if he's holding a slice of bread. Yeah. So gluten works like kryptonite for him. You think COVID is scary, but Djokovic could die just walking past a bakery. Oh, a bon pain. I will say, as hard as it is to sympathize with Djokovic, it is a little disturbing that the Australian government allowed him in, then deported him just because they changed their minds. I mean, if a government can arbitrarily deport an athlete, what's to stop them from deporting a whole team? And how can we get it to be the New York Jets?
Yeah. And also, I love how the Australian government is proclaiming that there's some health component to this, as if, I mean, you've been to Australia. It's not exactly the healthiest culture. They eat terrible food. They drink exuberant amounts of beer. A bloomin' onion has like 40,000 calories, Trevor. And you're going to kick this guy out of the tennis tournament, and you still haven't kicked out the stingray that killed Steve Irwin? You know what I mean? And I can relate to Novak Djokovic because I've been kicked out of a bunch of Outback steakhouses, and same as Novak, they said it was an issue with my visa.
I don't know what that means, but
yeah,
I stand with you.
What's a guy got to do to be allowed to play the tournament? 9-time champion, 3-time defending champion, world #1, tied all time for Grand Slam. What do you got to do, Trevor?
Get vaccinated?
Yep.
All right, let's move on to some technology news. Arguably, the most important tech breakthrough of the last few years has been 5G. And there are a lot of crazy conspiracy theories you might have heard, like 5G causes cancer, or autism, or it's a mind control tool. I mean, a few weeks ago, it was actually going around that when they turned on 5G, anyone who had gotten the COVID vaccine was going to explode. This was a thing people believed, which is ridiculous. I mean, I have 5G on my phone, and I turned it on before we came out here, and look, nothing happens, you see? But it turns out, not everyone who has concerns... Anyway, it turns out not everyone who has concerns about 5G wears a tin hat.
This morning, the major airlines warning of a possible catastrophic aviation crisis beginning in less than 24 hours when AT&T and Verizon are set to launch new, stronger 5G technology, which would give faster wireless service. The concern, whether 5G signals could interfere with radio altimeters. That's a device pilots use telling them how far they are from the ground and helping them land in poor visibility. Executives from airlines including American, Delta, United, and Southwest urging U.S. officials to keep new, stronger 5G signals at least 2 miles away from U.S. airports, saying in a letter, immediate intervention is needed to avoid significant operational disruption. To be blunt, the nation's commerce will grind to a halt. One union saying its pilots are prepared to ground their planes if the FAA doesn't act.
Yeah, but how will they know how to ground their planes if there's 5G? Just me? Okay, look. I'm not saying the airlines are making this up. I'm not saying that. But we all remember how they said the same thing about regular cell phones for 20 years, right? Yeah? Remember how terrified they had us? Everyone, airplane mode, or this plane could crash. One time I forgot to turn off my phone, and then the plane hit turbulence, and I looked at my phone, I was like, ah, shit, this was me. I'm sorry, everybody, I'm sorry. So anyway, I don't think the airlines are gonna win this fight. And honestly, even if it's true this time, if If you tell people that they can download a movie in a few seconds, but there's a slight chance it'll crash a plane, pretty sure people are going to be like, yeah, it's worth it. I'll take that chance.